Hey, what's up, everybody? Yours truly back in the space, back in the place once again. Mr. Smith, Mickey Smith Jr. here, and I am excited. This is an exciting time. The instruments are coming home. Listen, the band experience is not just for the students, but it's for everybody involved in the family structure. So whether you're the one playing the instrument or not, we all serve a role, particularly siblings, grown-ups. Our role is to encourage. Make sure that we're saying things to our aspiring musicians that encourages them to keep on going. Look, some of the first sounds will be amazing, okay? They'll be interesting. Some of the first sounds will be maybe even questionable, but if they keep on going, there's no doubt that they will be successful on the instrument. We've seen it time and time again, and I'm honored to be able to introduce this music to them. So watch this. I'm always a little nervous about the first time instruments go home because instruments can be easily broken. They're finely tuned machines. So we've waited some time to allow them to take it home once I've seen that they can put the instruments together. I've created this video as a result for students to follow along with. So if you're at home watching this, I challenge you to challenge your young person to see if they can duplicate, replicate, imitate what it is that I'm about to show on this video. First thing, when we assemble instruments, when we put them together, we always want to make sure we put them together on the floor, okay? Because if it drops from the floor, the likelihood that it's going to break is far less than if you have it on a table, countertop, or even on their lap. So we encourage them to put it on the floor. It's easier for them to handle and manage, especially in these first days. Now, for the sake of explanation, I'm going to use this table to demonstrate. First thing is we make sure that the case is right side up to where the label is showing, okay? And the latches or the locks are facing myself, the student that's putting it together, and we open it that way. That allows us to have access into the horn and get things out super easy. For the sake of explanation, I will turn it around to you so you can see there are various parts to the clarinet. The first thing that we do is we put the cork grease on. Now the cork grease goes on the brown cork parts of the clarinet. We don't put a ton of cork grease on. We put it very, very lightly. Okay, we don't want it to clump because if there's too much cork grease, it can have the opposite effect. It can cause the instrument to get stuck. So we don't want that. So first thing we do after we put the cork grease on, we grab the bell. Why do I call it the bell? Because it looks like the Liberty Bell, right? Then I grab the bottom body. I know it's the bottom body, even though there's two parts that look very similar. This bottom body has a part that sticks out that allows our thumb to rest on. We call it the thumb rest. Okay, so I look for that thumb rest and then I grab it where it's the fewest keys. Very important, do not grab it where it's a lot of keys because these keys, they look tough, they look metallic, but they're actually very pliable, they're bendable, and they can break under pressure. So we grab it where it's the fewest keys and then we shimmy, 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 shimmy. We do the shimmy. Now what's the shimmy? Small turns that are also pushing in. We don't want to twist, we don't want to bend or crank, we want to shimmy, 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 until it goes on just like that. Now keep in mind, if you have a brand new fresh horn, the shimmy might be a little tougher. It might be a little tough, like a pair of new shoes takes time to break in. Sometimes it takes a little while for that cork to break in. So it may take a few assemblies, a few home practice sessions before it gets super comfortable. Then the next part, watch this. We grab it where it's the fewest keys. I always like to say this, oh, say, can you see? Right. Why am I saying that? Because these little keys right here look like a flame. I always think of Lady Liberty, Statue of Liberty, New York, right? I always think of that. Oh, say, can you see? Flames up. Then watch this. USA. Oh, say, can you see? Two flames up. And we bring the flames together, but we make sure that they meet and match at the bridge keys. There's a little key right here, a straight key and a straight key. We grab it where it's the fewest keys and we shimmy, shimmy it together. Now I'm going pretty quick, but you're a young person, if they've been paying attention in class, they know how to keep up with me. So watch this. If at any point anything I say is a little confusing or it doesn't match up, you can always stop the video and follow along. Then I grab the horn, I put the bell on my leg, bell at the bottom, barrel at the top, shimmy, 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 shimmy down. Always grabbing it where it's the fewest keys. Don't grab it from down here. Grab it from here so you have more control. Then comes the tricky part. Now I take the ligature off, that's the little metallic piece, and I put the mouthpiece on, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. And I make sure before I go any farther that the hole of the mouthpiece is facing the one hole in the back. I also make sure that that bridge key matches, okay? And if the bridge key matches, then now all the holes match as well. Holes match holes, okay, in the front, and one hole matches one hole. So again, I'll say it again. 3 holes at the bottom matches 3 holes at the top. 1 hole in the back matches 1 hole in the back here. That's how you know you have your clarinet together. And then finally, watch this, we put the ligature on. The ligature, that's that little metallic piece. The ligature, we slide that on. Now watch this, the ligature, the screw should always be facing my right side. This is my right hand, and it should always face my right side. If it's facing the other way, then it's wrong. Always facing the right side. Then, watch this, we gotta be really, really careful. Then we take the reed. The reed is a little piece of wood. If we grab the reed at the thin part, we increase the chance that we could break it, and if the reed breaks, then the horn doesn't play. So we wanna make sure that we grab it at the thick part of the reed, and there's a flat part of the reed. The flat part goes on the flat part of the mouthpiece. I'll say that again. You can see there's a round part of the mouthpiece and a flat part, just like landing a plane. We put the flat part of the reed on the flat part of the mouthpiece, and then we align it. And then once we do that, watch this. We turn the screw until it's tight. Usually 2, at the most 3 turns will make it work. Now I'm gonna show you one quick thing that helps out a ton. I always tell my students, how do we know if we have the ligature on the right way? We know we have it on the right way if we can see the smile. I just drew a smile. Can you see my smiley face? There's a little curve on that reed, and you want to make sure that the ligature, the metal part, is low enough to where we can see the smile. If the ligature is too high, then it's going to make it very difficult for the student to make a sound on the instrument. So that's it. That's how you put it together. And then we'll see in the next video, there's a little exercise that we do that allows us to make the sound. That then makes the sound. So we'll get more back in just a minute when we come back. Until next time, guys, that's assembly, and disassembly is the exact opposite. We take it apart in reverse order, take the reed off first, put the reed in the case, take the ligature off because we don't want to bend it or break it, then use our force to take the mouthpiece off, put the ligature back on, place it in the case. There's a little spot for everything in the case. The students know how to do that. Take the barrel off, then unshimmy very carefully, small turns. And then grab it where it's the fewest keys, unshimmy it, bell, case. You always want to make sure that everything fits in the case like a puzzle piece, that nothing is sticking out. If anything is sticking out, when you close the case, it'll cause the instrument to break. So we want to make sure everything is in the case properly. If it closes flush and easily, then you did it right. I hope that helps, guys. We'll be back with another video that shows you how to make your first sounds. But that's horn assembly. Stay tuned. Keep on going, guys. Thank you. Until next time, Mr. Smith.